Last week's failed multi-million-dollar referendum is leaving Duluth's Public School Board with a big question: how much money and resources need to be cut?
Northern News Now's Cara Kopp was at tonight's school board meeting where they discussed what could be on the table.
While Duluth students were leaving class Wednesday, school board members were gearing up for a tough meeting.
It will mean some reductions, some pretty significant reductions.
Last Tuesday's special election ended with voters denying a multi-million-dollar technology referendum. That means the school board must now decide what cuts will be made over the next 2 years.
So right now we're reducing about $2.3 million.
The board already anticipated having to cut that money out of the 2024-2025 budget before the referendum failed, looking to make cuts in areas like staff travel and reducing teacher overtime. However, they now have to look ahead to the following year.
We would have about another $5 million to reduce.
We are presented now with the idea that our technology needs are costly.
Discussions are being had about Duluth's classroom technology that has met its end of life, like many smartboards not being replaced. Important cybersecurity updates might not happen. However, school leaders are planning to sit down with their technology team to discuss which devices are essential for everyday learning.
So we'll have to take a look at, what other places we can, trim our budget to continue to support some of our best used technology materials.
However, Magus says even with the referendum failing, the district is prepared.
But we are prepared for it, and we did build in budget money so that we could stair-step down from the federal aid that we had for COVID.
In Duluth, Cara Kopp, Northern News Now.
Cara, thank you. Now, no decisions on cuts have been made just yet. However, they'll continue these conversations throughout the summer, hoping to have a finalized plan by February.